JBNN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones, and in the news, taxi operator killed in tollgate. A taxi operator was gunned down in tollgate, Clarendon, on Sunday morning. He has been identified as Miguel Thomas of a McGill-Chris Palm address in the parish. It's reported that about 10:50 a.m., Thomas had just finished washing his car when he was pounced upon by a lone gunman. The gunman opened fire, hitting him in the head and upper body. Thomas died on the spot. The Four Parts police are investigating. Community conflict led to St. James double murder, say cops. One of two men killed by a gunman at a party in Dumfries, St. James Sunday morning, was the intended target. Police investigations have uncovered. The two men have been identified as 33-year-old Adolphus Holder, otherwise called Goldball, from Dumfries, and Javoni Gordon, 22, from Johnson Hill in Saltmarsh, Trelawney. The men were killed around 1:45 a.m. during a permitted event at a sports bar in Canaan, Dumfries. Police said the gunmen were after Holder, who had fled the area but returned a few days ago. It was reported that the two were approached by the gunmen who opened fire, hitting them several times all over their bodies. The police were called, and on their arrival, Holder was seen on the ground lying motionless on his back in a pool of blood with gunshot wounds to his head and upper body. Gordon, who had been shot in the neck, was transported to the Falmouth Public General Hospital, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Police said initial investigations have indicated that there was an ongoing conflict between family members of Holder and other men from the community. Holder reportedly fled the area after an attempt on the life of another man there earlier this year did not bear fruit. Teen charged for murder of mentally challenged man in Seaview Gardens. A 19-year-old was charged on Thursday with the murder of a man said to be of unsound mind on Floresy Pathway in Seaview Gardens, St. Andrew. The man who was shot and killed on Thursday, April 6, has been identified as 26-year-old Gregory Smith, otherwise called Greg, who is from Yellow Sea Drive in the community. Charged with Smith's murder is Ron Davis, otherwise called Dragon, a student, also of a Seaview Gardens address. Residents had reported that Smith was killed near Black Sea Drive. They say men from that area are in conflict with those from Yellow Sea Drive, where he lived. The residents surmised that Smith, being mentally challenged, strayed and was killed. It was reported that around 8:25 a.m., Smith was sitting along the pathway when a gunman on foot pounced and opened fire, hitting him in the head. The man escaped from the area. The police, who were summoned, found the body lying on the ground. The scene was processed and the body removed to the morgue. Police said 6 spent casings were found at the scene. Deputy Superintendent of Police, in charge of operations in the St. Andrew South Division, Coleridge Mentor, called on residents to come forth with information on other incidents to help investigators within the division make strong court cases. We want to appeal to persons who may have seen or witnessed another incident to share information with the police. Our detectives in the St. Andrew South Division are very relentless in pursuing and ensuring that they gather all the information to form proper case files so that we can have convictions in our court, DSP Minto said. Man accused of stealing $200,000 from Trelawney home charged. A man has been charged with housebreaking and larceny, housebreaking with intent, and malicious destruction of property following an incident in his community in Spice Hill, Trelawney, on Thursday, April 13. Charged is 19-year-old Wayne Campbell, otherwise called Sock, a labourer in the parish. Reports from the Duncans police are that about 10 a.m., a woman, who is the owner of 2 houses on the same property, secretly locked both and left. Upon her return, she discovered that one of the properties had been broken into and that approximately $200,000 was stolen. The lock on the grill of the second property was also damaged. She reviewed CCTV footage of the property and saw Campbell accessing the homes and made a report to the police. On Friday, April 14, a targeted raid was conducted and Campbell was pointed out by the woman, who was taken into custody, interviewed and subsequently charged on Sunday, April 16. Wholesale operated to forfeit $6.4 million from illegal bleaching cream sales. A Chinese businessman, whose lifestyle authorities say was financed partly by the illegal sale of bleaching creams, has been ordered to pay the government a $6.4 million penalty. The order was made against Chi Chong, a wholesale operator, on March 23 in the Supreme Court under the Proceeds of Crime Act (POCA. The Financial Investigations Division (FID) confirmed in a statement on Monday. The fine represents the amount he raked in through his illegal activity. The FID says its law enforcement partners are increasingly vigilant in looking beyond predicate offences to identify where benefit has been derived from criminal activities for which persons have been charged or convicted. The genesis and passage of this case through the court should be a reminder to the public and business operators of the strength of poker, said Keith Darren, Principal Director of Investigations at the FID, in a statement. If you benefit from breaking the law, the FID will utilize poker to remove that benefit. Chong was arrested on charge after a quality of bleaching cream was found at his business place during an intelligence-led operation on April 11, 2017. He was charged with unlawful possession of a quantity of products stored for sale, contrary to Section 261H of the Pharmacy Act. The products contain substances which are classified as List 2 and List 4 drugs or prescription drugs and would require medical doctor's authorization before use, the FID said. Chong was also charged with breaches of Section 2.1 of the Customs Act and breaches of Section 4.1 of the Food and Drugs Act. He was convicted on October 5, 2018 in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court for breaches of the Pharmacy Act. He was freed of the charges related to breaches of the Customs Act and the Food and Drugs Act. The FID successfully made an application on October 5, 2018 to the Supreme Court to have him committed for consideration of a forfeiture or pecuniary penalty order under Section 5 of POCA. The agency said evidence was presented in court showing that Chong's lifestyle was in part financed by the unlawful sale of the products. Chong did not contest the charges and was cooperative throughout the trial, the FID said. Suspect held in murder of Ricky Chooper's daughter. The Bridgeport Police Department in Connecticut in the United States has announced it has captured the main suspect in the murder of music selector Ricky Chooper's daughter, Brianna Destiny McCoy. The 23-year-old mother was found unresponsive on April 6, around 11:20 a.m. inside her condominium in Bridgeport. An infant was found unharmed inside the home following the shooting. 40-year-old Derek Francis, who McCoy was dating, was named as suspect in the homicide. On Monday, the Bridgeport Police Department announced on its social media pages that he has been captured. The department said details would be provided later. Opposition and government differ on how appointment of Jamaican president should be decided. The government and the opposition People's National Party PNP appear to be at odds regarding the process of appointment of a president when Jamaica ends its relationship with the British monarchy. Legal and Constitutional Affairs Minister Marlene Malahoo Fort has said there is consensus that the appointment will be on the nomination of the Prime Minister after consultation with the leader of the opposition to be confirmed in the Parliament. She also outlined that the intention is to legislate that the two houses of Parliament will sit together to make this determination on a special vote. However, the opposition is not in favour of the vote being taken at a joint sitting of both houses. The position of the People's National Party is that the vote should be taken in a manner which reflects the present constitutional arrangements, that is, 2/3 of the members of the House of Representatives and 2/3 of the members of the Senate, the party said in a statement. The PNP says the matter is among details which remain unresolved within the Constitutional Reform Committee. However, the party's representatives on the committee, Senator Donald Scott Motley and Member of Parliament Anthony Hilton, said they applauded the approach of the committee in the deliberations surrounding issues with a view to making recommendations on which the public will have an opportunity to consider and decide. Mackenzie condemns killing of homeless man in Port Antonio. Minister of Local Government Desmond Mackenzie has strongly deplored Saturday's murder of a homeless man, Lee Donald, in Port Antonio, Portland. Donald's body was found with stab wounds on West Street in the parish capital. Mackenzie noted that 2 of the 4 people killed in Portland so far this year were mentally ill. The body of Andre Watson, who also struggled with mental illness, was found at the Folly Oval about 1 month ago. Mackenzie said while the authorities do not yet know why homeless persons are beginning to feature prominently as murder victims, they are determined that this cannot continue. While the police are carrying out the necessary investigations, the work continues to identify a suitable location at which to build a drop-in center for homeless persons in Portland, which will provide both care and security, Mackenzie informed. The local government minister said a budgetary allocation has been made for the project and it is expected that a site will be identified and approved soon. However, he noted that the center cannot replace a social environment in which people are respected and their rights, especially the right to life, are cherished. I appeal for far greater care and far less callousness in our relationships with one another, order mutual respect, cannot be separated from the economic advancement of Jamaica, Mackenzie implored. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.